Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'ad. All thanks and praise are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may His peace and blessings upon His last and final messenger, His family, His companions, and those who follow them until the end of times. So I hear all of you have a quiz today.
What if I tell you we don't?
Too bad, because your teacher told me you do. Alright, so what we'll do today is we'll start off with a really, hopefully, comprehensive review. And the reason why it's going to be so comprehensive is because you guys haven't really covered much yet. So we'll do a really nice comprehensive review, and we'll go through the review sheet that he sent as well, and then we will do the quiz, and then we'll move on to a new concept. Now, I have not taught this particular textbook before because it's new, and there are some things in this book that, as looking through it, some things that are really neat and awesome and that I like a lot, and some things that perhaps I'm not like too excited about. I would rather present it in a different way. So I'm going to cover whatever you've covered so far, but in my own unique way. Alright, so it's like you're getting the same information a second time in a different way, and perhaps that different way might help you understand the concepts a little bit better. So we are learning the Arabic language, which of course is the language of revelation. It's the language of the Quran. It was a language spoken by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And our goal, our purpose, our objective is to, inshallah, understand the word of Allah and to understand the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in their actual revealed language. Right? We can have direct access to the Quran. That is our main goal. That's our main purpose in mind. But in order to get to that goal, in order to reach that objective, it requires a little bit of effort. And part of that effort is learning the structure of the Arabic language. Right? How the Arabic language is structured, how it works, how it functions, what are the different pieces and parts that make the language work. So in that process of studying the language, one of the most important disciplines is known as an-nahwu. An-nahwu is Arabic grammar, or we can call it Arabic syntax. So basically it's the study of words, phrases, and sentences. So we are going to study words, how those words are put together to convey meanings, and then how those meanings are put together to convey complete sentences. So the way the language is structured is that you have words. These words can be combined in different ways to either make phrases, which are incomplete sentences, or you can put them together to make complete sentences. So every single Arabic book of grammar, it starts off with the parts of speech, right? The parts of the language. What are the individual components that make up the language? So in Arabic, the word for word is al-kalima, right? The word for word is al-kalima. Al-kalimatu just means the word. All right, so that is our starting point. Our starting point is al-kalimatu. And just for the sake of practice of speaking, I want everyone to repeat it as well. Al-kalimatu. Good. Al-kalimatu. Al-kalimatu, the literal translation is the word. Right? Every single word in the Arabic language is going to fall into one of three categories. So any word you ever come across, whether you're reading the Quran, whether you're reading a hadith, or you're reading the newspaper, right? Whatever material you're reading, every single word you come across is going to be in one of three categories. The first is called al-ismu. What is it? Al-ismu. The second is called al-fi'lu. Say it. Don't be shy. Al-fi'lu. And the third is called al-harfu. Alright. So every single word in the Arabic language is going to fall into one of these three categories. Al-ismu, wal-fi'lu, wal-harfu. And part of the skills that we would like to develop is that whatever sentence we read, we are able to identify which word is an ism, which word is a fi'l, and which word is a harf. Right? That's part of the objectives of being able to analyze and understand the language itself. So in your books, an ism is defined as a person, place, thing, idea, adjective, adverb, and more. MashaAllah. Right? For the sake of simplicity, most people say ism just means noun. Right? The name of a person, place, or thing. Right? That is a very general, generic definition of the word ism. Right? It is the name of a person, place, or thing. It's simply a noun. Now the grammarians, right, the scholars of Arabic grammar, they actually get very technical and very specific, and they come up with this technical definition for the word, which is in the book itself. Right? A word that conveys a meaning by itself without being associated with one of the three tenses. Right? Does that definition make sense to everyone? All right. The reason why that definition is important is because if any word fills that definition, it's classified as an ism. So every word in the Arabic language that conveys an independent meaning. What does that mean? That a word conveys an independent meaning. What does that actually mean?
Doesn't need another word to like define it.
Exactly. You don't need another word. As soon as you hear it, as soon as you read it, you know what it means. Like if I say the word talibun, talibun means student. If I say the word ustadun, ustadun means teacher. If I say the word qalamun, it means pen. If I say the word kurrasatun, it means a notebook. Or kursiyun, chair. Right? So all of these words, they convey independent meanings, meaning that they don't need anything else for you to understand it. And all of these words do not have a tense. They don't tell you about the past, the future, or the present. Right? So any word in the Arabic language that has this independent meaning and there's no tense associated with it, automatically is called a ism. So in your vocab list, everyone memorize your vocabulary?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. All the vocab words that you did from lesson 1 and 2 or chapters 1 and 2, they are all asma. They're all what? They're all isms. They're all nouns. Right? They're all words that convey independent meanings and they don't have any tense. Alright. Al-fi'lu, for loose translation, we can translate it as the verb. Alright. Al-fi'lu, we can translate it as the verb. So a verb is something that we can recognize fairly easily. But in the Arabic language, again, they give it this very technical definition. It's كلمة تدل على معنى في نفسها مقترنة بأحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. Meaning it's a word that also conveys an independent meaning, but now it has a what? It has a tense. Meaning the word itself tells me that it's either in the past, it's in the present, or it's in the future. Right. So for example, the verb, I don't know why, but if you look historically throughout all books of Arabic grammar, the first verb they always give as an example is daraba. You guys know what daraba means? To hit. To strike. I think it's because of the frustrations of all the Arabic teachers. So they always come up with daraba. So for example, if I say daraba Zaydun bakran, right? It means Zayd hit Bakr. Right? So the verb itself is telling me this action took place where? In the past. Right? If I say يَضْرِبُ زَيْدٌ bakran, Zayd is hitting Bakr, or Zayd hits Bakr. Now the verb is telling me that it's taking place where? Right now, in the present. If I say سَيَضْرِبُ زَيْدٌ bakran, right? Zayd is going to hit Bakr. Right? It's telling me it's where? In the future. So one of the ways to tell if a word is a fi'l is that it's going to give you a tense, right? Either past, present, or future. Right? A harf is defined as a word that does not convey a meaning on its own, right? If it stands alone by itself, it's not going to give you a meaning. In order for it to convey a meaning, it has to be associated with an ism or a fi'l. Like common huruf would be like the word fi, right? If I just put fi by itself, it doesn't really give me any benefit. But if I say الطالب في المدرسة, that conveys a complete meaning. The student is where? In the school. Concepts make sense? Alright, so I guess one of the objectives or one of the goals of this first chapter is to kind of help us identify within a sentence which word is the ism, which word is the fi'l, and which word is the harf. Make sense? Alright, so I guess for some reason he does it with like English. Right? Gives you English sentences and he wants you to identify in English?
Yes.
That's confusing. So we're going to do some Arabic sentences instead, just for the sake of practice. Alright, if I say الطالب مجتهد, And everyone just say it with me so we get the practice again of speaking. Al-talibu mujtahidun. Right? Al-talibu mujtahidun. Say it. Alright, al-talibu mujtahidun. It means the student is hardworking. Alright, now looking at this sentence, is the word al-talibu an ism? Is it a fa'il? Is it a harf? It's an ism. Good. Alright, how do I know that? It's something that stands on its own. It's a noun. It conveys a meaning on its own, and there's no tense. Right? Mujtahidun, hardworking. Is it an ism, fa'il, or harf? It's also an ism. Alright, so both of these words are classified as ism. Alright. Al-ustadhu رجل ذكي. الأستاذ رجل ذكي. Alright, الأستاذ رجل ذكي. Alright, it means the teacher is an intelligent man. Alright, the teacher is a smart man. Alright, now looking at all three of these words, al-ustad, ism, fa'il, or harf? Ism, good. What about rajulun? Ism, very good. And dhakiyun? Ism. MashaAllah, see all of y'all experts already. They're all asma. Alright, let's do قرأ الطالب القرآن. Alright, repeat it. قرأ الطالب القرآن. Alright, قرأ الطالب القرآن. Good. The word قرأ, he read. Right? The student read the Quran. So قرأ, اسم فاعل أو حرف. Is it an ism? Is it a fa'il or a harf? It's a fa'il. Right? How do I know? It's an action and it has a tense. Right? قرأ is telling me that reading was done where? In the past. Right? And who's doing the reading? The student. So is that an ism, a fa'il, or a harf? It's an ism. And the word Quran, it's an ism. Good. All right. Next. All right. كتب الأستاذ الدرس. Alright, كتب الأستاذ الدرس. Good. It means the teacher wrote the lesson. Right? The teacher wrote the lesson. So the word wrote is كتب. Is that a ism, fa'il, or a harf? It's a fa'il. How do I know? Alright, it's an action that took place in the past. There's a tense to it. Right? And al-ustad is ism. Good. And dars is ism. Very good. الطالبة في المدرسة. Good. So الطالبة, say it. في المدرسة. Good. الطالبة في المدرسة. Good. The female student is in the school. Alright, so the word الطالبة, the female student, اسم فعل or حرف? It's an ism. Very good. The word fi is a harf. And al-madrasa, it's an ism. Very good. Alright, so the concept of ismun, fa'lun, harf makes sense?
Yes.
Alright, all of us, inshallah, it's a skill that takes time, but when we look at a sentence, we should be able to identify if something is an ism, a fa'al, or a harf.
Is the fi'l usually at the beginning of the sentence?
Usually. It can come in the middle, but usually they will start with it will come at the beginning. Alright. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, mashallah, newly acquired skill, and let's apply it to Surah Al-Fatiha. Alright, we're going to identify all of the words in Al-Fatiha, if it's an ism, if it's a fa'al, or a harf. Let me open up a copy of the Mus'haf real quick. Bismillah. I have to figure out where I saved it real quick. 1 second. I'm trying to remember where I saved the PDF of a Mus'haf.
Can you search Quran?
And search Mus'haf?
Yes.
I can. I should. But I'm going to figure it out. I'll just pull up a website. Mus'haf, there we go. Alright, that works. Bismillah. Alright. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alright, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So, Bismi is a combination of two things. There's a letter Ba, and there's the word Ism. Right? In the name, or with the name. So, the letter Ba, is it a Ism, is it a Fa'al or a Harf? It's a Harf. Good. More? Let me open it up in the other app so I can actually write on it. It's easier. Afwan, 1 second. Let's see. There we go. All right. Very good. All right, so the ba here is a harf. What about the word ism? It just means name. Ism is an ism. Very good. All right, Allahi. Right, the proper noun for Allah, the divine being. It's an ism. Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. Ism. Ar-Rahim. Ism. Alright, a little cheat. Anytime you see alif lam in front of a word, automatically it's an ism. Alright, anytime you see alif lam in front of a word, automatically it's classified as an ism. Alhamdu. Ism. What does hamd mean? Praise. Lillahi. Praise is for Allah. So lillahi is also a combination of two words. There's a li And then there's the word Allah. So the letter li, 4, is it an ism, fi'l, or harf? Harf, good. And the word Allah? Ism. Rabbil Alameen, Lord of the worlds. Rabbi is a ism. Al-Alameen is a ism. Very good. Alright. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, the very merciful. Both isms. Maliki Yawmiddin, right? Master or owner of the day of recompense, the day of judgment. Good. Malik is ism. Yawm, ism. Ad-Din, ism. MashaAllah, we got a lot of asma so far. Alright. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Right? You alone do we worship, and you alone do we ask for help or seek help from. Alright. Iyaka and iyaka, for right now, let's just not look at them. Those are more complicated structures. We'll get to that later. But na'budu, we worship you. It's an action. Alright, it's an action. And where is it taking place? Right now, in the present. So what type of word is it? It's a fi'l. Right? Nasta'inu, we seek help from you. It's also a fi'l. Right? Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. So, ihdi, you're asking Allah to guide you. So, guide me. Is that an action? Yes? And what tense is it? Could be present, also could be future. So, what type of word is ihdi then? It's a fi'l. Na, us. A pronoun. Guide us. A pronoun is a ism. So guide us. As-sirat al-mustaqim. The straight path. Ism. Right. Sirat is ism. Mustaqim is ism. Right. Sirat al-ladhina an'amta alayhim. The path of those whom you have bestowed blessings upon. Right. Sirata, path. Is that an ism, fi'l, or a harf? It's an ism. Al-ladhina, those. Right, in English, we call this a relative pronoun. Right, it's also a pronoun. So a pronoun is going to be ism. Right. An'amta, you bestowed blessings upon them. It's a fi'l. It's past tense. Right, it's telling us that Allah, you sent blessings alayhim, upon them. So it's a fi'l. Alayhim, upon them. It's a combination of ala, upon, and then him is a pronoun. So what would the ala be? It's a harf. Right? Ala is a harf. And the him would be ism. Skip ghayr for a bit. Al-maghdubi. Right? It's an ism. Alayhim wal ad-dalin. Ad-dalin is also ism. Alright, good. So I feel confident that all of you know ismun, fi'lun, and harf. Alright? Any questions on that? We're okay? Alright, that is essentially chapter 1. Alright, chapter 1 is just identifying the parts of speech. Alright, now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be analyzing each part of speech independently. So basically, we're going to learn everything we need to know about the ism. We're going to learn everything we need to know about a fi'l, and everything we need to know about a harf. So a nice analogy is the Arabic language is like a box of Legos. Alright? And let's just say that our Lego box only has 3 pieces. Has an ism, fi'l, and harf. I don't know, red, blue, and white, just for the flag. Alright? So all we're going to be doing is we're familiarizing ourselves with the different pieces and parts of the language. So the first part that we're going to analyze literally to death, right, we're going to learn every single thing about it, is the ism. Right? We want to know what it looks like when it's by itself, when it's paired with other things, when it's part of a sentence, what the ism actually looks like. Especially when we start using the ism to convey complete meanings in sentences. Right? So the book has it pretty nice, right? But I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach. All right. So if we're looking at the ism, there are 4 different lenses, or there's 4 different perspectives that we're going to analyze the ism through. So we have al-ism. So all of us know what an ism is. All right? And there are 4 different ways that we can look at it. There are 4 different ways that we can analyze the ism. The first is through definiteness. Meaning, is the ism, is it definite or is it indefinite? Everyone familiar with those 2 words actually mean? Somewhat? Yes, no, maybe so? Good. Specific or non-specific? All right, specific or non-specific? Is the noun talking about something specific or is it talking about something general? All right, so that's one way of looking at an ism. Is it definite or indefinite? All right. The second way we look at it is through gender. We look at it through gender. Is the noun masculine or is it feminine? Right? Just like naturally there's only 2 genders, in the Arabic language there's also only 2 genders. Right? The noun is either masculine or feminine. There's nothing in between. Alright. The third is through number. Plurality. Is the noun singular? Right? Is it talking about one thing? Is it dual? Is it talking about 2 things? Or is it plural? It's talking about 3 or more things. And the last is grammatical state. Which grammatical state is the noun in? So here in your textbook, the author chooses to start with grammatical state, which is complicated. I would prefer starting with definiteness, gender, and number first. Alright? So I could do this really quickly, but it might be like information overload, or we can just stick with what you've gone through so far and review it. It's up to you.
Stick with what we've gone through.
Okay, no information overload?
Yeah, let's try to
Okay.
just go over what we did.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ustad.
Huh? No worries. Alright, grammatical state. Alright, every single ism, right? Every single ism in the Arabic language, when it's part of a sentence, is going to experience one of 3 grammatical states. Alright, so in Arabic we call this al-i'rab. Right? Every single noun, when it is part of a sentence, is going to experience one of 3 grammatical states. What are those 3 grammatical states? This is review. Good. Al-raf'u, al-nasbu, and al-jar. Alright. Al-raf'u, wal-nasbu, wal-jar. So when you have an ism in a sentence, right? When you come across an ism in a sentence, it's either going to be in the grammatical state of al-raf'u, it's going to be in the grammatical state of al-nasbu, or it's going to be in the grammatical state of al-jar. Right? If something is in the state of rafa', what do we say? What do we call that? Marfu'. Right? If something is in the state of rafa', it is marfu'. If something is in the grammatical state of nasab, it's mansubun. Mansubun. And if something is in the grammatical state of jar, is called majrurun. Alright, so you have rafa', nasab, and jar. If something is in the state of rafa', it's marfu'. If something is in the state of nasab, it's mansub. If something is in the state of jar, it's called majroor. Alright, so again, these are words that you should become familiar with. Right? Rafa', marfu', nasab, mansub, jar, majroor. Alright?
Okay. I don't want to confuse anybody, but are we going to use... never mind.
You don't want to use the... I don't like using the English.
No, not the English. When something is in rafa', do we have to say that it is marfu'?
Yes.
We can't just say it's rafa.
You can say it's in the state of rafa', but it's marfu'. You should say it's marfu'.
I should say it's.
Yes.
What is the third state again?
Majroor.
Majroor.
Al-jarru, it's majroor. Alright. Now in the book, how does he explain these things? If something is in the state of rafa', what is he saying that is? It's the subject of the sentence or the doer of a verb. Right? So anytime you have the subject in the sentence, is going to be in the state of rafa'. It will be marfu'. If it's the doer, it's going to be in the state of rafa'. Right? And
Can I ask a really confusing question?
go for it.
On one of the practice things on his thing, I didn't realize there was a practice sheet till 1 a.m.
We'll do it together after this.
There was one that I was telling my daughter, like, this is the subject of the sentence,
Yeah.
but it's the jar. Because I said, so can it be both? Does jar supersede rafa', or am I just wrong?
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. All right. So I guess a nice way to understand it is that the way he has it presented is the general case. And there's always going to be some exceptions. So the general rule is that the subject of a sentence is going to be marfu' and the doer is going to be marfu' and the default of all words is marfu'. That is the default state. Meaning if there's nothing acting upon that word, it's always going to be marfu'. Right? He described the state of nasab as what?
The details.
The details of a sentence. So you have the subject, you have a doer. The predicate is always also marfu' as well, by the way. You guys know what a predicate is? Go back to elementary school, English grammar. We're okay? Subject, predicate?
What's the predicate, please? I was good at English, but the words.
Very good. The predicate is the information regarding the subject. So if I say the boy, that's the subject. Is smart is the predicate. Right? The boy is smart. So in the Arabic language, the subject and the predicate, they're always marfu'. Right? The doer, always marfu'. The details, right? The details are always going to be mansub. Right? And the state of jar is the easiest. It's if something comes after a preposition, it's majroor. Or he describes if it comes after like a of construction.
Yeah, after of.
After of.
Or apostrophe s.
Yeah. So this is somewhat confusing. My thing is that what we're going to do is we're going to recognize what the noun looks like in the state of rafa', nasab, and jar. And then the reasons why they're marfu' or mansub or majroor, that's what we're going to be learning throughout the rest of the book. That sort of makes sense? So all we're learning how to do is identify what a noun looks like in the state of rafa', in the state of nasab, in the state of jar. Why the noun is in that particular state is what we're going to be studying Arabic grammar for.
And this is only for nouns.
Only for nouns. Only for nouns. Right? A great analogy that one of my teachers gave to help us understand this concept of i'rab is they say, take the example of a human being. Right? The human being experiences emotional states. Right? And let's just say that we're simplistic human beings and we only experience 3 states. All right? Either we're happy, we're sad, or we're upset, angry. Right? So depending upon my personal context, upon my situation, I'm either happy, or I'm sad, or I'm angry. Right? If I'm happy, mashallah, I have a big smile on my face. Right? If I'm sad, mashallah, I have I don't know what you call that. A sad face?
Frown.
Is that a frown?
Yeah, you're frowning. It's not frowning.
If I'm angry, my face turns red. MashaAllah. Huh? Alright. So just like the human being experiences these 3 different states, depending upon their what? Context. Their situation. Right? The noun in the Arabic language experiences these three different states depending upon its context. Right? And each of those contexts is going to show its state in a different way. So in the state of rafa, it's going to look a certain way. In the state of nasab, it will look a certain way. And in the state of jar, it will look a certain way. Right? And that is basically what we're supposed to do in our next lesson after your quiz.
Oh, now we're doing quiz?
Let's do the review sheet, then we'll do the quiz.
Okay, good.
Alright, let's go through that review sheet, then we'll go through our quiz, and then we'll go through this lesson, inshallah, and hopefully things will make sense, inshallah. Alright, so he has this study guide. He wants us to identify what is the type of the word and what state is it in. Right? The second question, in the English, I don't like it. But we'll get there. Okay. Just because you've done it like this so far, we'll continue like that. Alright, then he says the words of, is, and are do not occur in Arabic. You don't have a word for of, is, and are. It's just understood.
But did you notice that the whole definition of jar is after of? All of a sudden I was like, what?
What in the world does that mean? It's just a
Sorry, I
it's just a terminology.
Like
Like when you say, like, if you say the student's pen, you can translate it as the pen of the student. So whatever word comes after of is going to be in the state of jar.
Or in this case,
Majroor. We'll Alright. The words in and from are harf, and they are predicates making the word after jar. Alright, so Bismillah. The Prophet's message is the truth. The Prophet's message is the truth. Alright, what is the Prophet? Is it an ism, fi'l, or harf?
that is an ism.
It's an ism. So we'll write in ismun. What about message?
It's ism.
Ismun. Is. Right? The word is doesn't really exist in the Arabic language. Alright. The truth. Ism. Alright. And just for the sake of comparison, I'm going to write this sentence out in Arabic as well. Alright, the Arabic for this is رسالة النبي حق. رسالة النبي حق. Alright, the Prophet's message. The word prophet, if I switch it, it's actually the message of the what? Prophet. So the word prophet is in what state? Good, it's majroor. Very good. It's in the state of jar. And the word message is in the state of rafa. There's no word is. And truth, haqqun. It's a predicate. Rafa.
Okay, so see that that's why do we have to say marfu'a? Like why can't we just keep saying rafa?
It's in the state of rafa. But when something's in the state of rafa, it's marfu'. So if I was speaking Arabic, I would say an-nabi majroorun. Right? And I would say ar-risala marfu'un.
Can you just say
Yeah, just say marfu'. Right?
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was forgetting what predicate actually means.
Uh-huh.
The way that I kind of figured this out is that when there is actually not a verb, then it is likely that they're going to be the default.
Basically, that's another way of thinking about it. All right. How is it rafa'? Because it's the predicate of the sentence. In the Arabic language, right? In the Arabic language, the subject of the sentence and the predicate will always be in the state of rafa'. Right? So this is getting ahead of ourselves. Right now, I don't know why he's doing this, but I believe that instead of like figuring out why, we should only be focusing on what it looks like. Right? What it looks like. So if you'll notice, the word risala, it's marfu'. What vowel does it have on it? Has a dhamma. The word haqqun is marfu'. What vowel does it have? A dhamma. And the word nabi is majroor. What vowel does it have? A kasra. So in the Arabic language, right? In the Arabic language, if a noun has a dhamma, that is a sign that it's in the state of rafa'. Right? If the noun has a kasra, it's a sign that it's in the state of jar.
And this is the last, when you're saying the vowel, you mean
The vowel on the last letter. So the vowel on the last letter is going to indicate to me what state the word is in. Right? The vowel on the last letter, it will indicate to me what state the word is in. So if it has a dhamma, it's going to be in the state of rafa'. If it has a kasra, it's in the state of jar. If it has a fatha, it's in the state of nasab.
How is that how the singular, we were supposed to memorize the chart? Is
Yes.
that why, like, okay.
Muslimun, musliman, muslimin.
What the heck, man? English sucks. Like, we should be
Okay, wait.
So I actually like doing this better. Okay, so just for the sake of really simplistically, for the sake of simplicity and making things as clear as possible, right? If you have something in the state of rafa', right, if you have something in the state of rafa',
It's going to be dhamma.
there will be a dhamma, or it could be a dhammatan, right? One dhamma or two dhammas. Like, for example, the word al-kitabu, for the word kitabun. Make sense? If it's in the state of nasab, the word is going to have a fatha or fathatan. Like al-kitab ba or kitaban. And if the word is in the state of jar, it's going to be kasra or kasratan. Al-kitab bi and kitab bin. That is what the words look like in the states of rafa', nasab, and jar. So just like quickly try to memorize this. Right? If it's rafa', dhamma. If it's nasab, fatha. If it's jar, kasra. Right? This is the most simple, straightforward formula. If a word is in the state of rafa', it gets a what? Dhamma. If it's in the state of nasab, it gets a fatha. If it's in the state of jar, kasra. That's how I can identify what state the noun is in.
And it's always going to be like that.
Always.
There's
With
no-
some exceptions. We'll
There's
get
no-
there.
Okay.
We'll get there. There's exceptions, and there's just like not every human being shows happiness with a smile, not every noun shows its rafa with a dhamma. Different nouns show their rafa in different ways.
profound.
Alright? But mostly it's the same. Alright? So rafa' dhamma, nasab fatha, jar, kasra. Right? The reasons why, that's why we're studying Arabic grammar. Right? Why is it marfu'? We'll learn. Why is it mansub? We'll learn. Why is it majroor? We'll learn. But I guess what the author is trying to do is conceptually, he's trying to give you an introduction to why. So basically in a sentence, if anything is a subject, if anything is a doer, or if anything is a predicate, it's going to be in which state? Marfu'. Right? If something is an extra detail of a sentence, meaning it's not the subject, nor is it a verb, nor is it a predicate, it's going to be what? Mansub. Right? And if it comes after a preposition, or it comes after the word of, it's going to be majroor. Does that sort of make sense? That's the summary he's giving you of like the entire concept of Arabic grammar. Everyone's with me?
Preposition again.
A preposition is like in Arabic harful jar. So anytime you see like fi or ala or ila, the word after is always in the state of jar. In, on, above, with, for, in.
Okay, I think it's this list we memorized in like 7th grade.
Yeah, something like that.
Are we going to go to Arabic later on in the book, or are we going to?
Oh yeah, it all turns into Arabic in the next chapter. This is just for...
You're not saying that it has to be in Arabic in order for us to understand it.
Yeah, so after this chapter, everything's in Arabic. Like, yeah. But does this concept make sense? Right? The overall concept that he's trying to tell us. So keep going through this review sheet. Right? I work hard. I work hard. Alright, so I, is it an ism, fi'l, or harf? It's an ism. What about work? It's a fi'l. And what about hard? It's an ism. Now, grammatically speaking, right, I work. Who's the subject of the work? Who's doing the work? Who's the doer? I. So what state would it be in? Marfu'. Right? The doer is always what? Marfu'. Let me just write rafa instead of putting marfu'. What about work?
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Good. Thank you. Don't get ahead of yourself. Actually, that's one of the difficulties of learning Arabic is that like it's not hard. Right? Arabic grammar is not hard. And if you think it's hard, just keep repeating it to yourself that it's easy, and convince yourself that it's easy. Right? So part of learning Arabic is having the right mindset that it's easy. And honestly speaking, it is. It's very formulaic. Once you learn the formula, all you're doing is plugging things in. Right? But learning the formula sometimes is hard. But it's really easy. The reason why it's complicated is because a lot of people, we don't think in terms of like language and linguistics, and because we're like so like used to speaking English, and there isn't a heavy emphasis on English grammar when we're speaking, or mashallah, most of us aren't really involved in like writing, I don't know, articles and papers if we're out of school, so we're not really like accustomed to like.
Even if you are, you don't identify the subject and predicate.
Exactly. You just know it.
Yeah.
You just know it. Right? So it kind of takes some time getting used to all this stuff, but once you train your mind to think like that, honestly speaking, it becomes really, really easy. Alright, hard. Hard is what here? It's nasab. Why? Because it's just an extra detail. Good. And it comes after the verb. Alright, Muslims pray Fajr every morning. Alright, Muslims is a ism. Pray. Fa'il. Fajr. Ism. Every morning. Ism. Good. Alright, Muslims is my subject, so it's in the state of rafa. Pray. It's a verb, so we're not there yet. Fajr. Good. Why is it nasab? It's a detail. What am I praying? I'm praying Fajr. Every morning? Nasab. Because it's another detail. Good. From the excellence of a believer's faith is leaving unnecessary things. MashaAllah, he took a straight hadith. Alright, from the excellence of a believer's faith is leaving unnecessary things. From ism fi'l harf. The excellence ism of a believer's ism. Faith ism is Leaving. Is it a fi'l?
Yes.
Is it present?
No, wait, don't trick us. It's a fit. We're 100% confident.
Yeah, it's fit.
What should be wrong?
Because it's currently.
Leaving.
It's in the present tense, right? No?
Okay. He left.
Right?
He is leaving. Right? Right? Leave.
Yeah.
And then there's something called a verbal noun, which is a noun that describes the action of the verb. So the action is leave, but the noun that describes it is what? Leaving.
So it's a noun.
This is a noun.
This is easy. It's easy.
Right? The only way you would figure this out is if you know the Arabic. Right? The Arabic is min husni إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه.
Actually, in English, that sentence does not really make sense.
It doesn't.
I was like, no.
It's from the perfection of one's Islam is to leave that which doesn't concern them. Right?
In the study guide, he has
It's too
leaving
deep.
as fit.
See, that's more accurate.
اسم ما لا يعنيه. That's a whole خير. Unnecessary things would be a what? Ism. Alright. From is a harf, so it doesn't have any grammatical state. And we'll learn that all the huruf, right, all of the particles in the Arabic language, they don't have grammatical states.
Good.
Alright. Excellence.
Good God.
Jar. Because it comes after a what? After a particle. Right? Of a believer's.
Judge.
Jar. Because it comes after? Of.
And also, no.
Faith.
Judge.
Jar as well.
Comes after apostrophe S.
Mm-hmm. Leaving.
I don't know anymore.
This is complicated.
No, this is easy.
It's easy.
Huh?
Oh, it's easy.
Everything is easy.
Okay, that has to be,
It's
It's a fit, so it doesn't say no way to do it.
I mean, not
Rafa. It has to be Rafa.
because there's no actual verb, you said.
Exactly. So it is Rafa.
And it stands on its own.
He said leaving is-
And you just
And
say-
unnecessary things would be then what?
No.
Extra. It's what is it?
Extra.
Detail.
Fluff.
What are you technically also like a verb?
Yeah.
It's extra detail.
Leaving is not a verb. There's no.
But what's your subject?
For which one?
Faith is actually a subject, right?
Yeah,
This
I
is the
would
one I was
think so
talking about,
too.
and I was having this whole discussion. She's like, "You just don't know this yet, Mom. You're not seeing it in Arabic."
So basically what this is the subject is mentioned last.
Unnecessary.
So leaving unnecessary things is from the excellence of a believer's faith. So in Arabic sometimes the sequence gets flipped. And
As
sometimes
it is now, wouldn't you say that if you look at that sentence, which does not seem to me to be grammatically correct in English, wouldn't you say faith is the
I would
So-
say
actual?
so that is my issue with thinking of this in English.
This is, I have it. She's like, "You just
Yeah.
don't know yet, Mom.
Yeah.
You just don't know
So
yet."
thinking of this in English throws things off because it's not like fully
Yeah.
equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fully equivalent. So that's why I'm not necessarily a fan of this method, but at least for the main concepts, it's helping. All right? All right. I love God's religion from the bottom of my heart. Allah, Allah. All right. I, ismun. Love. Fa'ilun. God's ism. Religion. Ism. From harf. The bottom. Ism. Of my. Ism. And heart. Ism. Good. I would be the doer. Right? So it's lafa. Love is a verb, so we're not there. God's religion.
No.
So let's
The
think this through.
religion of God.
Religion of God.
God is the dove.
God is Jab, but religion is Nasab.
Wait, why is God's jug?
Because it comes after of.
Where's the of?
Religion of God.
Got it.
Make sense?
Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy. Harf, harf nothing.
Is proposition.
Alright, and then everything after harf is going to be what?
Nasab.
After harf.
No, jar.
Jar. Everything after harf is? Jar.
Jar. But heart is coming after my. No?
Huh?
Everything
You
after.
get my is coming after of, but heart's not coming after.
All
Why
jar.
is everything after? Like, I figured it out by saying the bottom is after from, which is up there. He
Uh-huh.
said that is that's just the way it is.
Mhm.
And then of my, I was like, okay, maybe they're talking about my, which comes after of, so that makes it job.
Uh-huh.
And then heart is, that one I would have put, I think I put nut.
Nasab?
I'm like, there's no of there. Unless you say my heart is what comes after
Of. That's what it is.
So instead of having of my and heart separately, they should have put it together.
Yeah.
Of my heart.
Of my
as
heart.
one single
As one.
syllable.
Yeah.
Man.
Exactly.
Alright.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
It's not our fault.
It's not.
Wait, okay, wait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so like, okay, so above the second to last one of a believer's faith,
Mm-hmm.
like faith was judged because it came after believers. It came after apostrophe s.
Yeah.
That's why I was like religion's coming after apostrophe s.
Yeah.
So why in that example faith is judged but religion is not?
Where's religion? Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Because the word religion here is coming. It's I love the religion of God.
When you say apostrophe s, it always means
Of.
like you say God's religion is the religion of God.
Yeah.
So if the word is literally after of, it's after God because you're saying religion
Of God. So the word God is coming after of, so that makes it Jeff. But religion is coming after the verb.
After of is.
So that's why, again, this English stuff.
Or
Show you. Because it's actually it's the direct object of my verb. So the direct object is always in the state of nasab.
So then why is God's job as well? Shouldn't it
Okay, so just to clarify, okay, really quickly. All right. We have 3 grammatical states, and he's given us reasons for why they're in that state, right? He's trying to help us, at least from the beginning, help understand the concept. So let's go through that. For the state of rafa, so far, there are 3 reasons why it will be marfu. All right, there's 3 reasons. Either it's the subject of the sentence, or it's the doer of a verb, or it's going to be the predicate.
say again what predicate is. It's like
It's information regarding the subject. So simple example, the student is smart.
without a verb.
Without a verb.
Okay.
Exactly. All right, the student is smart. So subject, doer, predicate, they're always going to be in which grammatical state? Rafa. They'll always be marfu'. This is like golden rules in the Arabic language. The subject is always marfu', the doer is always marfu', and the predicate is always. This will never change. All right? For the state of nasab, he just puts what? Extra details. Right? Extra details could include what we call the direct object. The direct object is the person or thing upon which the action of the verb takes place. So if I have a verb, oftentimes the action of that verb is going to take place upon what? Something. Like if I say, I read the book, what's my verb? Read. Who's the subject? I. What's the direct object? What am I reading? Or what was read? The book. Does that make sense? Alright, so if you look at the sentence, I love God's religion. I love God's religion, which actually means I love the religion of God. What's the verb? Love. Who's the subject? I. What am I loving? Religion. So the word religion is what? It's mansub. But of God, the word God comes after the word of. And if the word comes after of, it's majroor. Make sense?
And it's also like, can we also look at nasab that if we remove it from the sentence, it's not gonna affect?
Not always.
Okay.
Not always. That's why, again, it's English is short. Alright. For the state of jar, it's the simplest thing. Jar is one of two things. It comes after a preposition. Anytime there's a noun after a preposition, it's always going to be in the state of jar. And there will be a whole chapter on prepositions. There's like 9 major prepositions in the Arabic language. So anytime you see one of those, automatically you know that the noun after is majroor. And then he says after of. Meaning a noun that comes after the word of. Like the pen of the student, the book of the teacher, the car of the man, the keys of the house. Right? Anytime you have a word after of, it's going to be majroor. Somewhat?
That's good. I have to remember the prepositions.
Yeah. Prepositions, we'll learn them inshallah. Alright. Everyone want to take the quiz? Bismillah.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. It's only 4 sentences. 4 sentences.
It's always be hard.
Then? Okay. Okay. worries whatsoever. Okay.
This is my first class in my life.
Yeah,
So
no worries whatsoever. No worries. No worries. Second, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Who's still working on it? You? You're almost done? A few more minutes? Okay, thank you. Done? All right. We'll definitely get all these in front. Huh? That too. Possibility. Thank you. All right. Would it be sinful? Because the rule says not allowed? I wouldn't say sinful, it would be unethical. But would you get sin for it? Allahu a'lam.
Why is it not?
Because like by agreeing to go to the theater, you're agreeing to abide by their rules. And if you're breaking the rules, it's unethical. All right, Bismillah. How was it? It was good? It was easy. All right. So we have about 25 minutes left, right? And all I want to do is really focus on this concept. And my goal is, inshallah, by the end of these 20 minutes or 25 minutes, everyone should understand this concept fairly well. All right. So the concept we're discussing is called al-i'rab. And this is actually the crux of Arabic grammar. Right? All of Arabic grammar, all of Nahu revolves around this particular concept. So basically, one of the goals of learning Arabic grammar is to read Arabic without vowels. Or if a word has vowels, to figure out why those vowels are there. Right? And the vast majority of Arabic literature, whether it's like a book of fiqh or hadith or tafsir, does not have vowels on it. Right? If you look at the Quran, the vowels are there to facilitate reading because it makes it easy for everyone. But if you pick up a book of fiqh or tafsir or hadith or any other literature in the Arabic language, there are no what? Vowels. So how do you read that? Right? How do you read a book without vowels? You learn Arabic grammar. If you know the grammar, then you will be able to figure out what the vowels are. That make sense? So the whole concept of i'rab is designed to help you figure out what vowels the words are going to have and why. Right? So this is the crux, this is the most important topic within Arabic grammar. If you understand this topic, then everything in the book will make sense, inshallah.
Oh, so it's kind of like if we know where this rafa, then we would know that the ending is going to
Dhamma. Exactly. Right? So if you understand this topic, then Arabic grammar will be very easy and straightforward. So essentially what this topic is that the grammatical state of a noun, right? The grammatical state of a noun, it will change depending upon its role or function within a sentence. So if I am constructing a sentence, obviously my sentence is going to have a ism, it will have a fa'il, it can have a harf. But depending upon where I put the ism, right? What role or what function the ism plays in that sentence, is going to experience a different grammatical role, a different grammatical state. Sometimes the ism will be in the state of rafa', sometimes it will be in the state of nasab, sometimes it will be in the state of jar. Why and when is it going to be marfu'? Why and when will it be mansub? Why and when it's going to be majroor? That's what we're studying Arabic grammar for. But the concept is that depending upon the role or function, that grammatical state can change. And the way it expresses the grammatical state is through the last vowel on the word. Right? The last vowel on the word, it is a sign, it's an indicator of what grammatical state the noun is in. Now, it could either be the last vowel or it could be a combination of letters, but we'll get there. For right now, let's just stick with vowels. All right? So what we just covered so far is that in the state of rafa', right, in the grammatical state of rafa', normally speaking, under normal circumstances, the noun is going to have a dhamma or dhammatan. Right, so just taking one of our vocab words. Right, one of our vocab words is rajulun. So in the state of rafa', it will be ar-rajulu, if there's a alif lam in front, or it could be rajulun. Right, if I look at this word, automatically I know that it's in the state of rafa'. Why? Because of the dhamma. Automatic. This is something that you can be like 100% sure of. If I see a dhamma on the end of an ism, automatically I know it's in the state of rafa'. Why? For right now we say Allahu a'lam. But I know it's what? Rafa'. Right? In the state of nasab, it's going to be a what? Good. It's be a fatha or fathatan. Another one of our vocab words, let's do bint. So it could be al-bin. What should be on the ta? Al-bin ta. Or bin
Then.
tan. Good. And for the state of jar, it's going to have a what? It will have a kasra or kasratan. Alright, another one of our vocab words is do rasul. Ar-rasul. What should the vowel be? Good. Ar-rasuli or rasul lin. Alright, so if I see the word al-binta, automatically I know it's in what grammatical state? Nasab. Why? Because of the fatha. Right. If I see the word ar-rasuli, automatically I know it's in what state? Jar. Why? Because of the kasra. So very simple, very straightforward. For rafa, dhamma. Nasab, fatha. Jar, kasra. Alright?
So now, so right, like let's say Jud, we were learning that Jud comes after of and so on and so forth. Now we're just adding another not qualif.
So basically, say we said that we learned that the noun after a preposition is majroor, right? So now that I know that if there's a preposition, I know the noun after is going to get a kasra. Make sense?
Yeah.
Are there any words that end with sukun?
Not nouns. Not nouns. Verbs cannot nouns. We'll get there. All right. So just to see how this works in the Arabic language, we're going to write out a few practice sentences, a few examples, which will help us see the concept of i'rab in action. All right. So
Is that what you're saying?
i'rab, grammatical state, or the changing of the grammatical state. All right. So simple, straightforward sentence. Al-talibu mujtahidun. Al-talibu mujtahidun. The student is hardworking. So based upon what we've learned so far, what type of word is al-talibu? It's an ism. And what type of word is mujtahidun? It's an ism. And what grammatical state is the word talib in? Rafa. How do I know? Because of my dhamma. And the word mujtahidun, what state is it in? Rafa. How do I know? Because of the dhammatan. Very good. Make sense? Alright.
So you can have two doers.
So they're not doer. This is a subject and a predicate.
So in Arabic, it's like 8,000 times easier.
Exactly. Exactly. Alright. Write these out with me. I'm going to say ra'aytu. I saw. Right? Ra'aytu is a past tense verb. It means I saw. At-taliba. At-taliba. I saw the student. Right? Now, what state is the word taliba in here? It's mansub. How do I know it's mansub? Because of the fatha. Right? So I have the same word in both sentences, but in one sentence it's marfu', and in my second sentence it's mansub. Why? Because its function in the sentence changed. Right? Its role, what it's doing inside of the sentence, changed. If you look at the first sentence, al-talibu mujtahidun, it's playing the role of the subject. Right? That is the subject of the sentence. In the second sentence, it's no longer the subject, it's the direct object. Right? It is the person upon which the action of the verb takes place. Right? Ra'aytu, I saw, what did I see? The student. So because its role changed, because its function changed, its i'rab did what? Its grammatical state changed. Make sense?
The line over the ta is just the two dots, right?
That's a shadda. Al-taliba.
No, over the ta.
Yeah, that's two dots.
Two dots.
Quicker. Make sense? Alright, one more sentence. Sallamtu ala الطالب سلمت على الطالب. I said salam upon the student. Now what state is the word talib in here? Ja. It's majroor. How do you know? Because of the kasra. Right? So in each of these three sentences, I have a common shared word, which is the word at-talib. But in the first sentence, it's in the state of rafa'. In the second sentence, it's in the state of nasab. In the third, it's in the state of jar. So this is an example of a noun whose grammatical state is changing. Why? Because its role in each sentence is changing. So in the first sentence, it's the subject. In the second, it was the direct object. And in the third sentence, it's coming after what? A preposition. It's coming after a preposition. So this is an example of the word talib being in the state of rafa'. This is in the state of nasab. And this is in the state of jar.
What's the middle word, please?
Which one?
The last sentence, middle word.
Ala.
Oh, okay.
Upon. Sorry, it's not clear. Ala. Right, so this is the whole crux of Arabic grammar. Depending upon where the word is in a sentence, its grammatical state will change. Right? And again, in most Arabic books, you're not going to have the vowels. So if I read this sentence wrong, the meaning can actually what? Change. Make sense? And we'll go through examples where the meaning changes and completely and it messes things up, but we'll get there. Does this make sense? Yes, the concept makes sense? All right, we'll do another set of examples. Let's do Al-Kitabu Mufidun. The book is beneficial. All right. Al-Kitabu Mufidun. The book is beneficial. Right, the book is beneficial. Alright, what state is the word al-kitab in? It's marfu'. How do I know it's marfu'? Because of dhamma. Mufidun. Also, marfu'. Alright, they're both in the state of rafa'. قرأت الكتاب. قرأت الكتاب. I read the book. I read the book. What state is it in now? Right, the word kitab is mansub. How do I know? The fatha.
And the first word would be rufu'.
بحثت عن الكتاب. I searched for the book. Alright, I searched for the book. Now the word kitab is in what state? Jar. How do I know? Kasra. Alright, so this is another example where we have the same word. Alright, the word al-kitab in all three sentences. But in the first sentence, it's in what state? It's in the state of rafa', meaning it's marfu'. In the second sentence, it's in the state of nasab because it's mansub. And in the third sentence, it's in the state of jar, it's majroor. Why is it changing? Because its function in the sentence is what? Changing. Alright, in that first sentence, it's my subject. In the second sentence, it's a direct object. And in the third sentence, it comes after a what? Preposition. Make sense? The concept makes sense? Yes? Alright, good. So, dhamma, rafa', fatha, nasab, kasra, jar. Alright. So right now, all we're focusing on is what the noun looks like in these states. How to identify it. Why is it in these states? That's what we're going to be learning throughout the rest of the book. But you can see from this a pattern so far. And my pattern so far is that if the noun is the subject, it's going to be in what state? rafa'. If the noun is a direct object, is going to be mansoob. Right? If the noun comes after a harful jar, after a preposition, is going to be majroor. Make sense? Alright, so just for the sake of practice, turn to your vocab list. Alright, turn to your vocab list. And let's take each of these nouns and let's write them in the states of rafa', nasab, and jar.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1 and 2 vocab. Alright, look at chapter 1 and 2 vocab. So we're going to take each of these words and we'll write what it looks like in the states of rafa', nasab, and jar. Just for the sake of practice. The singular. Just the singular right now. Alright, so starting with the word abun. Alright, in the state of rafa', what would it be? Abun. In the state of nasab? Aban. Alright, so one thing that if you have fathatan, the fathatan is always carried by an alif when you write it. It's just a writing thing. So it's always going to be carried by a alif. And in the state of jar? Abin. Can I add one more thing or it'll be like information overload? Alright. If the noun has a double vowel on the end, right? It's called indefinite. It's nakira, meaning it's general. So abun just means a father. Any father. If I put alif lam in front, I make it definite. And once I put the alif lam in front, I drop the tanween. And it just becomes abu. The father. So in the state of rafa, it will be abu. In the state of nasab, aba. In the state of jar, abi.
Can you say that again?
Good. Alright, so all indefinite nouns in the Arabic language have tanween.
So,
Double vowels.
okay, you know how, like, he said the default for every word is, like, to put the dhamma thing on the end?
That's if there's no alif lam in front.
Okay.
If there's an alif lam in front, the double vowel goes away.
So, all of the top ones are
Indefinite.
indefinite.
Uh-huh.
A father.
Good. So anytime you put alif lam in front of a word, it becomes definite.
Okay.
That is the definite particle in the Arabic language.
Just the.
Yeah, it translates as the.
Okay, but now you changed it to, unless I just can't see properly.
Sorry. Which part?
So, did you say that the second set of words was now nasb?
Yeah.
But what makes it nasb?
Nothing here. We're just practicing what it looks like in that state. Meaning, if the word ab was in the state of
If you
nasab.
had if you were making it definite
Mm-hmm.
in nasb,
It's.
right?
That's.
The L doesn't have to do with nasb.
No.
Right, okay.
Has nothing to do with the grammatical state. Yeah. The al just makes it definite, and when you take away the al, it becomes indefinite.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's the definite and indefinite states of
The word.
the marfu.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Now, so I'm going to repeat that again. Right? If a noun has a tanween, that means it's indefinite. Right? Indefinite means it's not specific. You're talking about something general. Like if I say kitabun, or let's just stick with abun. Abun means a father. It could be any father. But when I put alif lam in front, I'm talking about someone specific. Al-abu, the father. Right? And the rule is that if there's alif lam, there will never be tanween.
So abun is in the state of raf.
Abun is rafa, it's rafa because of the dhamma. Right? But it's indefinite.
Got it.
A father as opposed to the father. Right? You can never have alif lam and a tanween together. So if you ever hear someone saying like al-abun, that should make your ears bleed and hurt. Our teacher will say هذا كفر في اللغة العربية. Right? There will never be an alif lam or a tanween together in one word. Make sense? All right.
So, Raf, Nasb, and Jar tell us the states.
Grammatical state.
And definite and indefinite is
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So look at the word ummun, mother. Right? What would the word ummun look like in the state of rafa? Ummun. Right? What would it look like in the state of nasab? umman.
Man.
And in the state of jar, ummin. Alright, and if I put alif lam in front, it becomes al ummu. In the state of nasab, good, al umma. And in the state of jar, al ummi. Again, just reminder, the purpose of this is just to recognize what the noun looks like in the state of rafa, nasab, and jar. Why is it going to be in these states? You will find out.
When you put the fathatain, is there a reason why there's an
And yeah, so in the Arabic language, in order to have fathatan, it has to be written on an alif. It's carried by the alif.
Also, most all of these are fatha. They're not singular.
That's only if you put the al in front.
No, but for like there's not. It's not only.
Yeah, so that's the rule. So if there's no alif lam, there will be tanween.
What's near that well on the bottom? And
Al-ummu.
what is the? See, there's a dhamma. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the dot under that?
The shadda.
So the on the net. I mean the.
Oh, that's the hamza.
Oh,
There's something extra there.
it looks like a dot or something.
Yeah, sorry. It's a hamza. Alright. Do the word zawjun. Right? Zawjun, spouse or pair. What would it look like in the state of rafa'? Right? Zawjun. In the state of nasab? Zaw. Jan. In the state of jar? Zawjin. Right? Not jinn. If I put alif lam in front, it becomes? Good. Sorry.
The couple compared.
Exactly. Alright. Az-zawju. Then in state of nasab, az-zaw. Ja. In state of jar, az-zaw. Ji.
For zawjan, we only add alif for the fatha.
Yeah, only for the fathatan. Only for the fathatan. Alright. Does this concept make sense or I should repeat it?
Makes sense.
We're okay?
Yeah.
Somewhat? Alright, do rajulun. Alright. In the state of rafa, it's rajulun. In the state of nasab, rajulan. In the state of jar, rajulin. And if I put alif lam in front, ar-raju lu. In the state of nasab, ar-raju la. In the state of jar, ar-raju li. Alright?
Yes.
Good. If you want practice, just do that for the rest of the vocab words, inshallah. Alright, so again, this is how a noun will look like in the state of rafa', nasab, and jar. Right? But now I'm going to throw a complication. This is only for the singular noun.
Right.
This is only for the
Singular.
singular noun.
Yes.
The dual will show it differently, and the plurals will show it differently. And that's what you'll learn next Saturday, inshallah. Alright? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of you, place on our scale of good days and day of judgment. سبحان بحمده سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Just 2 words. I know everyone's like super busy with life. Everybody is. But if you can, at least throughout the week, maybe give 1 hour. Right? Give 1 hour just to review and look over your stuff. It'll be very beneficial, so at least it keeps it fresh. And the vocab in this book is awesome because most of the vocab is taken from the Quran. So having this vocab down will help a lot.
If we get like the quiz, like practice test we have today, with the whole thing we get together.
Yeah.
We can practice that whole.
I'll tell them to email it out, inshallah. Alright, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
وعليكم السلام